admire. I've been very public about they do things that we admire, right? And we don't see that as I know some people want us to fight because there's like this really childish, unprofessional sector of independent comics that thinks that sitting here trying to present yourself as the greatest, which means that there's no room for other creators, and therefore, if anybody threatens or challenges your greatness, right, or you think that they are, then they must become enemy number one. They think that that's a standard in independent comics, and it's not, right? It's not a standard even in our sector, let alone independent comics. This stuff is independent comics goes well beyond what the hell I'm doing or what the hell anybody else is doing, no matter how self-important that they are. And so they want us to plex with each other and stuff, but that's just not how it operates, right? I got much love for them. They got much love for us and respectful, and we respect each other. And like Doug said the other day, if Iconic went away, we'd be fine. If we went away, they'd be fine. Same thing, right? But we do have a lot of mutual respect for each other, and it's healthy. And I think obviously there's a major crossover between our audiences. But again, they do it in a different way than we do it. They do it a different way than how I did it, yet they're still successful. And I think it's something that a lot of folks can learn from. And there's something else that I want to chime in on that I saw a post that, again, just speaking from my own expertise on this, right? Or I'd like to think I know a little bit about something when it pertains to, or as it pertains to fitness. He said, red flags should go up in your mind if you hear someone frame one element of the comic creation process as, for all intents and purposes, the whole. I agree wholeheartedly. And I think people treating it as if it's only about this thing is what has gotten a lot of people in trouble with their independent publishing, or lack thereof for that matter. It's because it's only about said thing. When you operate as a publisher, or you're supposed to be operating as a publisher, it's not just about the interior of this book. It's not just about the cover. It's not just about the artist that you put on it. There's so many different elements that you must take. I mean, you have to have as much passion and drive about it and take it as serious as you do those other things. Now, unfortunately, we got to this fake fraud conversation of, well, if you care a lot about the business side of things, you don't care about the quality of the actual work, which is retarded. That is a non-point. Anybody saying that is more than likely trying to yell squirrel, essentially, and get you to focus on things that don't pertain to their own bad habits, because it's all encompassing. Okay, it's not one or the other, and you don't have to. The best among us, as far as the publishers are concerned, do both incredibly well. They produce quality. They produce things, and by quality, I mean it's up to the standards in which the audience has dictated in great numbers should be around financially, right? Not just giving it cosigns and all that, reaching in their pockets and paying for it multiple times. Okay. They dictate that. Fans, customers dictate that for sure. And it's important, because if you're just doing it as a sort of self-satisfying thing, right? Art for art's sake, as you heard me say before, you're probably not even going to see a lot of success, right? If you're thinking that everybody must live up to your standards as customers, that's foolishness. You got to take both of it serious. You take the creation, the creativity, that aspect of it very seriously, and you have to take the business aspect of it seriously. So he's completely correct that red flags should go up when you hear someone say that it's only about this aspect. He says, if you put professional siding on a house, but the plumbing or electrical work is shoddy, says you'll be sleeping in sewage or waking up to an inferno. Oh, shoddy or haphazard, excuse me. Or you'll be sleeping in sewage or waking up to an inferno. Making quality comics requires a project manager to be honest with himself about the multifaceted nature of an endeavor and then a willingness to delegate tasks when necessary. That's very, very true. One of my best skills, if I have one, has always been delegation. I know when I don't know something. And I'm also very good at reading, like, be it like feedback, audience feedback, customer feedback, and then understanding where we need to improve. Okay. We needed an art director. We added Kaden White. We needed more editors. We've added Igor as another editor. We've needed, someone to facilitate, obviously, the operation side of things. We brought in Brandon. Like, these are things that are necessary, right? And anybody that is going to be a professional, especially if you're going to be leading, right? Whether it's a group of you or one individual leading a company that calls itself publishing or thinks of itself as a professional publisher, yes, you have to be able to understand that. Like, and you have to know that you don't know things. He says, I met many people who oddly think an expertise in one area of life translates into an expertise in a totally unrelated fields. Again, this goes back to what I was saying about the professionalism. Just because someone can draw really well, write really well, edit really well, does not mean that they do everything in comics well. Okay? It's not just about that thing that you do, that's your level of expertise. No. And you have to be self-aware enough to understand where kind of you lack. And sometimes it's not even lacking in knowledge. It's only so much time in a day. You're only one person, and you have to be able to delegate things if they're going to get done. Okay. But yes, just being in the industry doesn't mean that you understand, let's say, the economics of like comics. I've said that. That's what I'm talking about with the contract. Just you can get someone that's been making comics as far as like doing the artwork or writing as a contractor for 40 years. They can be a complete bonehead as it pertains to the actual business side of things. Type business in the chat, everybody. They can be clueless, give terrible advice because they don't know, but they think just because they could draw like a son of a gun that they know everything else. And it's just not how it works. Doesn't work like that in anything. Doesn't work like that. And I come from the music industry. Just because you sing, and really, and this is why he brought up the house thing. In any other industry, you would see that, and it wouldn't be something that's like, it's not controversial, right? Just because someone can sing really well doesn't mean they understand distribution. Just because someone can play the hell out of the drums doesn't even mean they can sing. It says being a great writer does not make a man a good accountant. Facts. Being a great artist does not make a man an effective negotiator. Facts. Knowing how to speak English does not make one a skilled storyteller. Facts. If someone is trying to sell you a home and they love to razzle dazzle you with one aspect of the property while quickly ushering you away from the other areas, then you should pause and think about what's really going on. Yes, there's probably some malpractice potentially going on. Or it's just supreme ignorance where this person is just absolutely clueless.
Clip, clip, and snip, snip.